Welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week sees the release of the animated comedy adventure Scoob hitting store shelves along with the dramatic crime biopic Capone, as well as Paramount Presents is releasing a Blu-ray edition of the 1980 comedy Airplane and the 1990 romantic drama Ghost. And Criterion is releasing a Blu-ray edition of the marriage drama Marriage Story, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we're at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart here with this display for Scoob. Wow, this is quite the display, isn't it? Holy cow, man. This is massive for Scoob. Pretty damn nice, dare I say. And the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray digital of Scoob for 1996. They have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital for $27.96, and they also have the DVD digital for $17.96 right here. And actually, this is really nice because the DVD has different artwork than the 4K and the Blu-ray. Actually, really nice, man. Usually, sometimes with companies, you don't see that. So it's nice to kind of see a little bit of different artwork for all you DVD lovers out there. Not half bad, man. Not half bad at all. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime. Now, this movie was originally supposed to come out in theaters, but you guessed it, guys, because of the whole coronavirus situation and everything that happened and the theaters shutting down, well, Scoob ended up getting the tail end, dare I say, and ended up getting released through streaming services. And so I had to watch it through there, guys. I mean, still, I was excited to watch it because I remember seeing the trailer and really loving it. Now, I'm an old school fan of Scooby-Doo, man. I watched Scooby-Doo years and years and years back, man. God, oh my God, I don't even know how many years ago. Back when I was like a little kid, like I was watching the cartoons, and you know they would have the toys and the merchandise and of everything, man. I was big into Scooby-Doo. I think a lot of little kids are when they're younger. You just kind of relate to Scooby and the gang and them solving the mysteries. It's cool, dude. The mysteriousness, sort of the ghosts and sort of revealing them and the bad guys. I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you kids and your damn dog. All that fun stuff. And this movie is no different, guys. Basically it starts out as kind of like an origin story, and then it moves on to sort of their most like epic and mysterious case that they've had to deal with, and they sort of learn lessons about themselves and sort of their destiny. I don't want to give too much away about the movie, but I will say, guys, that I think it's a really fun film. I think it's really fun. I think the animation here is absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous, dude. I was watching the movie and I was stunned by the animation. I'm like, my God, this is top notch. My eyeballs are just so impressed by what they pulled off with the animation for this flick, man. I love the voice acting here. I think it's really fantastic. I think all the characters are really well drawn, and I think they're still very likable. I think you still really care about them. It's very funny. It has that same type of old school Scooby-Doo animated humor that you've known all your entire life. It hasn't changed one bit. There's a lot to like about this movie, guys. There's not really many downsides to it. I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit. It was fun. It's an hour and a half time. It breezes by. I love the dastardly bad guys. You get to see some of the cool characters from sort of the Hanna-Barbera universe. It's a very wonderful, childlike nostalgic dive into Scooby-Doo, man. And for me, rewatching this thing, dude, it brought back so many memories of me watching Scooby-Doo back when I was a kid and loving the adventures that Scooby-Doo would go on with Shaggy and the gang. It was pure fun, dude. It was adventurous. It was beautiful to look at. The animation shines in this. The characters are still really well drawn and great, even after all these years. You would think, like, I would get older and I would lose that sense of wonder for something like Scooby-Doo and those adventures, but I never did. It just went really far back in my brain, and rewatching this, it just went back to the front of my brain, and I just loved every second of it, guys. God, this is so awesome. This movie was so great, dude. It really was. I had a ball with this film. It's a shame I didn't get it into watching it in the theater, but I have to admit to you guys, regardless, it's great to finally get a chance to watch this thing, and Scooby-Doo is still wonderful to this damn day. Nostalgic, never goes out of style. Awesome, dude. You guys would definitely enjoy this one. Definitely get up on this, dude. And not bad. Like I said, they have a good variety. They have the DVD, they have the 4K, they have the Blu-ray. Mind you, no exclusives exactly, but hey, that's okay though, man. They still have some good stock, and doesn't matter exclusives or not, it's always worth watching a little Scooby-Doo. Not half bad, guys. And the massive friggin' display is amazing, dude. Wow. I was not expecting a display for Scooby-Doo, but there you go, man. Really impressive. Not half bad, dude. All right. Let's see what else Walmart's got. All right, everybody. We are in the new release section, and there's actually stuff to check out over here. Dude, I'm flabbergasted. Holy crap, dude. I'm fucking shocked, man. Wow. And the first thing I am seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray digital of Survive the Night for $14.96 and the DVD for $12.96. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and okay, no lie, guys, I wanted to watch it because of Bruce Willis. Yeah, Bruce is a pale comparison to his former self. The better actor guy, you know, took himself, you know, more seriously, did better projects. Yeah, I get it, guys. But what the fuck, I still wanted to watch the goddamn movie. And okay, so let's get into this thing. So basically, the movie is about this doctor played by Chad Michael Murray, and you know, he's having problems with his marriage, and he's having a rough time in his life, and his father, played by Bruce Willis, is giving him shit, and basically there's these two brothers who have robbed this place, and they've committed a bad crime, and one of them gets injured, and so they end up following Chad Michael Murray's doctor character back home, and is basically gonna force him to operate on him, and they're holding his family hostage. And so, you know, the father and the son have to try to team up to take these guys down and survive the night, pretty much, guys. Okay, so the movie's not terrible. It's got some good moments in it. The action is not half bad at certain moments. It's pretty decent. The acting here, Chad Michael Murray doesn't do a half bad job. Mind you, I'm not a huge fan of Chad Michael Murray. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of One Tree Hill, not gonna lie. And I think he was also in that remake to House of Wax, wasn't he? House of Wax, you know. So I'm not a big fan of him, but Bruce is kind of on autopilot in this movie some of the time. Some of the time he really is badass, and other moments he's kind of like doesn't care. He's getting a fucking paycheck, whatever, man. I mean, it's basically what Bruce Willis does now. Chad Michael Murray is one of the people that makes the movie. It is tense at moments. Obviously, it is predictable. You kind of know what's going to happen with the movie. It's direct to Blu-ray, direct to DVD, sort of action thriller movie. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. Bruce Willis is somewhat decent, but again, dude, he's in it for the fucking paycheck, man. He's riding on that Bruce Willis name, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hate to say it, but at this point, that's all you're getting out of Bruce. But that being said, it's not terrible. A little less than an hour and a half if you guys want to give it a go on a rainy day. You got nothing else to watch. You know, you went through all your action movie DVDs and Blu-rays, and you think, oh, what's Bruce Willis up to? Survive the night. Give it a look. And the next thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray of Capone for $14.96 and the DVD for $12.96 right here. Now, this is another one where I got a chance to watch it on Amazon Prime, and yet another victim of the coronavirus. This was supposed to come out in theaters, guys, but unfortunately, that goddamn COVID ruins everything. Ah, damn you. Yeah, so I got a chance to watch this, and I wanted to watch it mainly for Tom Hardy, because let's be real, guys, Tom Hardy's a great fucking actor, dude. I mean, you may not like him in everything, but the guy gives his all in every single fucking performance he does. He's fucking tremendous. He's amazing. And you know what, dude? He's Tom fucking Hardy, bro. I mean, you gotta give it a chance, man. And it was kind of interesting seeing him playing Al Capone in sort of Al Capone's, you know, sort of the last year of his life. And basically, it's just him with massive dementia and trying to recall things from his life and from his past, and at the same time, like, he's hid like $10 million, and people are trying to find out where the money is and who is loyal to him and who's not. It's basically your typical sort of crime drama type of film, you know, in the backdrop of being Al Capone. It's a decent movie, man. I did enjoy it. I like Tom Hardy's performance, dude. Tom Hardy makes this movie, dude. He is on fire here. He's dramatic. He's sad. He's pathetic. He's struggling to remember the simplest things. He brings out all of the emotions and all of the heartache and the anger that you've come to know from Al Capone. Tom Hardy kills it in this role. He does a tremendous job, man. And I think everyone around him does a great job, too. Whether it's Matt Dillon or Linda Cardellini, everybody does a really great job, man. They're fantastic in their roles. They all do a great job here. The story is really good, too. I mean, I'm not exactly completely well known with Al Capone's life, so the last year or so of his life, I'm not really sure, but I'm assuming they did their research and they did a lot of their due diligence to look a lot of this stuff up. It seemed pretty accurate to me at the time, him having syphilis and him having the memory loss and having the stroke and everything, and Tom Hardy really portrays that really well. I like the story, I like the actors, I like the plot. I think the movie's well shot. I think the movie looks good. And I think Josh Trank does a good job directing this film, man. I think he did a good job. This is more on the low budget film. It's not a high budget thing. It's more of a contained story. It's not a big sprawling epic. But at the same time, it tells a very personal story with Al Capone, and I thought for the most part it worked. Yeah, there's a couple things that didn't work. I felt like, you know, some of the plot stuff with the money kind of goes nowhere to a certain degree. Characters come and go, and the makeup on Tom Hardy, at times the makeup looks really good, and at other times it looks not so hot, and so it was kind of a mixed bag. But the movie is worth it for Tom Hardy, and Tom Hardy kills it in this role, man. So if you're gonna watch this, give it a look for Tom Hardy alone. It's well worth it, just for the acting class of this man. He does a tremendous fucking job, dude. Then I'm also seeing they have the complete second season of Castle Rock for 1996. Now, I thought this was actually supposed to come out like weeks back, man, but I guess they might have moved the release date for this one. I'm glad to finally see it in stores. Shocking it's actually here at this Walmart, though, guys. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Hulu, I don't actually have a subscription to Hulu, but my girlfriend does. She has a subscription for Hulu, so I kind of took advantage of her subscription. She was willing to let me do it, so what the hell, man. Now, so I gotta admit, guys, so I loved the first season of Castle Rock. I thought, man, that first season was great, dude. It was mysterious. The characters were seedy. I loved the references to sort of the Stephen King world. I thought it was great, man. And at the end of that season, I was really hoping that maybe they would continue with the storyline. And season 2 is not that. It's a whole different story with different characters. And so, yes, they kind of do a little bit of maybe kind of answering a question or two from the first season, but don't go into this season thinking you're going to get major answers from the first season, because you're really not, man. There's a whole new bunch of people, a whole new bunch of Stephen King references, whole new story, you name it, guys. Now, with that being said, with all that being said, though, this season is not half bad, dude. Basically, a lot of it revolves around Annie Wilkes, played by Lizzie Kaplan. Now, Annie Wilkes is, of course, the crazy chick from Misery. You know, keeping that author in the bed, lopping his foot. You know, all that jazz. It's basically about her and her so-called daughter, but I won't really spoil anything with that one, guys. And at the same time, there's this sort of 400-year-old entity that's trying to take over the town at the same time, and those two stories eventually collide. Like I said, I won't really give anything away for any of you guys out there. What I will say is that the season is good. I enjoyed the season. Is it as good as the first season? No, it's not really as good as the first season, unfortunately, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I think the first season is better in a lot of ways. That sort of mysterious entity plot in this, it has its creepy moments and it's good, but a lot of it kind of felt kind of useless and flat to me. But I got to admit, the Annie Wilkes storyline is phenomenal. Lizzie Kaplan rocks in this. She is an amazing Annie Wilkes. And boy, she rivals the movie Misery. She does, man. I mean, good lord, dude. Lizzie Kaplan is phenomenal. You are sympathetic to Annie Wilkes. You are terrified of her. She's unpredictable. You have no idea what she's going to do next. Amazing performance. And this story of hers takes place before the whole incident that happens in Misery. So you kind of get to see her background and who she is and the complications of her and how she's so demented and twisted. It's really interesting, really fascinating just for Annie Wilkes, that character alone. On top of that, you do get some other sort of interesting nods to other Stephen King tales and other mysterious stuff. Like I said, I like this series. It's more of an anthology than anything else. There is a little bit of going back to season 1 for some clues, but for the most part, it's a singular story again, focusing on different people, but it still has its high points, and I think Annie Wilkes alone is one of those high points indeed, guys. But I still think the first season is way better, though. Go into this with checked expectations, but if you like the Stephen King world, this one is definitely worth your time, though. And one more thing to show off, with the Blu-ray for Resistance for $14.96 and the DVD here for $12.96. Now, I knew this was actually coming out this week, but I didn't get a chance to watch this one. I have to, because it looks really good, man. It's basically another true story among many true stories about World War II, about this world famous mime and how he joined the French resistance. It's a really interesting and inspiring true story. Really great, man. And the actors in here are amazing, man. You've got Ed Harris Jesse Eisenberg, Edgar Ramirez, like a lot of really great, solid actors in this piece, man. I don't think this movie's gonna be trash. Usually, a lot of straight to Blu-ray or DVD flicks about like the war. Most of them aren't that great. Let's be real, guys. But this one actually looks promising. It really does. And I don't know, actually, like, I'm really fascinated by World War II. Like, and a lot of great movies come from World War II, but there's a lot of really great ones that come from Vietnam. So I don't know which sort of war area period I like more, whether it's World War II or Vietnam War films. I don't know. I think there's more interesting tales to be told from World War II, but there's so much fascinating stuff from Vietnam, though, man. I don't know. This is just yet another true tale in the many things that were going on in World War II. It looks fascinating and it looks interesting. I definitely got to give this one a look, man. I didn't get a chance to watch it before the video, but it's one I definitely want to get a chance watching. If you guys have definitely seen this, definitely let me know what you think about Resistance, man. I'm dying to know. All right, well, that seems to do it, guys, for this Walmart. Good Lord, man. I was not expecting them to have as much of the titles that they did this week. Are they turning over a new leaf? I kind of doubt it. But it's a nice surprise anyways. Not bad this week overall. Let's head out. I am literally shocked, guys. So when I was walking into this Walmart, I said to myself, okay, well, it's a pretty decent release week here. We're probably not going to get a lot of stuff at this Walmart. And my God, was I proven wrong, dude. Holy shit. Like, they decide, oh, you know what? The week that we're going to bring out a lot of the big guns for physical media just happens to be just one random week in July for physical media. And they had like a ton of stuff. They had a couple indie things. They had the big new releases. Shit, they had Castle Rock Season 2, and usually they don't carry new TV seasons here, or they haven't in a long-ass time. Like, what the hell happened? I'm dumbfounded. Like, what? Like, really? Like, the turnaround happens to be this week? I guess it's a better time than any. Well, it's nice to see them finally carrying a lot of physical media, that's for sure, guys. That's not half bad here. I mean, a lot of really great stuff to check out this week. I mean, there's a lot of good releases coming out. And this Walmart that is usually on the slower side and not much to show off actually proved itself worthy this week. And damn glad that they finally chose a week to do it. Jeez. Finally. But not bad this week overall, man. A lot of cool stuff to show off. Some cool flicks to check out. Stuff for the family. Adult fare. Not half bad overall, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Finally checking out a worthy week for physical media at this Walmart. Let's head to the next location and see what they got. All right, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. But before we go in, I just wanted to say how really happy I am to see Scoob coming out on physical this week. And why? The real answer to that is the fact that it went straight to a streaming service. Now, I still support streaming services. I think some of them have a lot of really great variety and content. I think they're really awesome. But there's been a lot of pushback from a lot of people, even including myself, that I look at some of these movies on these streaming services and I just wish I could get them on physical. And the argument that you'll get from people like Netflix and other companies is that, well, we want people to watch them on our streaming service. And if we put them on disc, then no one's going to watch it anymore on our streaming service and we're not going to get the revenue. Okay, then you keep it exclusively to your streaming platform for, I don't know, a year or something. I mean, I don't know how you would go about that, but eventually put it on disc. Because there's certain movies that I want on disc, like The Babysitter or Gerald's Game, Hush, stuff like that. And nothing like that has been announced. Now I know, guys, there are bootlegs out there of these things. You can buy bootlegs like crazy, pay the amount for them. Personally, that's not me. I just don't buy bootlegs. It's not that I don't like appreciate the fact that these things are out there for people to enjoy on bootleg, but I've just never been one to want to get that stuff. So I want an actual official release. And what's really nice is even on Criterion, seeing the fact that Criterion has come out and said, okay, we're going to put Marriage Story out on physical. We're going to put The Irishman and Roma. And I'm hoping that more of that stuff will eventually come on disc over time. Because right now we're in a very tough situation where movie theaters are closed, movie studios, some of them are dumping certain movies, like, that Tom Hanks war flick, that went on Apple TV. Scoob went out to certain streaming platforms, and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, like, there's a sense of just keeping it on a streaming platform and just keeping it there, and that's how people are going to watch it. But eventually, if you really love a movie, you want to own it on physical. So I hope that that trend will continue eventually, and seeing Criterion start to do that is a good sign that maybe over time, some of these ones that have just been held in the grip of streaming and has not come out will eventually see the light of day. Let's hope to God, because there's so much good movies on streaming that you can only find through streaming, and that's fine to watch them at first on streaming, but maybe eventually have them on physical and enjoy them, and you won't have to depend on some of the streaming services. I know streaming services don't like to hear that, but eventually I'd like to have it in my hands in my collection so that I can enjoy it for myself anytime I wish, that I don't need to, go on the streaming service to see a movie that I already love. I can just watch it whenever I want. And I know streaming services are that way, guys. You can watch anytime you want on a streaming service, but eventually, you have to understand, with streaming services, eventually some of that stuff goes away. But when it's on disc, it's permanent. Let's hope that happens eventually with some of these. Let me know which ones that are not on physical right now you can't wait to see on physical. I told you a few of mine. Now tell me a few of yours. But in the meantime, well, Target, there's actually quite a few things coming out this week. So usually when that happens, it's a good sign for Target. That means we're actually going to see variety this week. Let's hope that's the case, guys. Let's head in. Check it out. All right, everybody, we are in at Target over here, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the DVD digital of Scoob for $17.99. They have the Blu-ray digital for $19.99, and they also have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital for $27.99 right here. Very nice indeed. Not bad at all. Now, as I said earlier, I grew up with Scooby-Doo and the Gang. It's one of the staples of my childhood. I've loved it. And I've watched a lot of different iterations of Scoob. I've watched a lot of different iterations of it. Like, I watched sort of the animated stuff, but I also watched, like, they had that, like, prequel thing of, like, a pup named Scooby-Doo. I watched that one. That's something that I grew up on. I've watched a lot of these sort of interactive video movies, and it's just sort of an animated property that has stuck with me for a really long time, guys. I believe in like 2013 or something, like TV Guide named it like the top 5 best like animated series of all time or something like that. I believe they did, which it truly does deserve it. Now, not everything has been great with Scoob, to be honest with you. I mean, they ended up doing those couple of live action flicks with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Matthew Lillard and those guys. Those are not bad movies. I don't want to go ahead and say they're bad, because I know a lot of kids really enjoyed those flicks, but I think, and I don't know whether you guys agree or not, but I think sometimes translating animated stuff to live action, sometimes the translation, it kind of gets lost a certain bit because some of it still works, some of the humor, some of the comedy, but I think somehow I think when Scooby-Doo is animated, I think that's when it works the best. I think that's usually the case for me. I mean, sometimes I'm not gonna lie, some animation adaptations are better than others, but I think for the most part, I think I like my Scooby-Doo animated. I was kind of lukewarm on them. They didn't feel like nostalgia to me. They felt like, in some ways, kind of like a cash grab. I don't know whether you guys agree with me, but they kind of did. So seeing Scoob, I was worried. I was like, okay, is this kind of like a cash grab, or is it something that's going to be a little bit better? And to be honest with you guys, I was pleasantly surprised because it turned out to be really nostalgic. It felt like they really were taking these characters and just updating them for the modern day, but they still had all sort of the hijinks and the antics and everything included with it. I thought it really worked, guys. I really honestly did, man. And even going and having Frank Welker voice Scooby, and Frank Welker is one of the original voice actors to to still be voicing the character of Scooby. That's great, man. He is awesome here as well. It's just kind of cool. You see some of the like cool little nods to other things within the series and seeing some of the Hanna-Barbera world. To me, it felt like this movie was really treated in a very respectful way. And sometimes I see some of these properties that are updated and they feel like they kind of forgot about the world and they forgot about the characters, and it's just kind of like we're just putting something out there to make money. I think this was really done very respectfully, and I really appreciate that, guys. That's my honest opinion. I mean, definitely let me know what you think about that, man. But I thought it was awesome, man, and it just brought back so much nostalgic feels that I had when I was a kid, man. Dude, this is fantastic. It doesn't matter whether you're an adult like me and you just want to relive your childhood or getting your kids into this. It's still fantastic, guys, and you guys definitely have to give this a watch. It's really fantastic, dude. And then I'm also seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of Survive the Night for $16.99 here as well. Now, look, I was telling you that Bruce Willis basically was doing this for the paycheck, dude. I mean, there's moments where he's good, and then there's moments where, man, he's just phoning this the fuck in. He honestly is, dude. Now, dude, I love Bruce Willis. I honestly love the dude, and he's great, man. Well, dude used to be great, okay? Used to be. The last major movie in theaters that I saw him in was Glass. He was good in Glass, but let's be realistic, man. There were moments in Glass where even he was phoning it in there, man. And I think as an actor, God, I hate to say it, but I think he's kind of given up, dude. Just a little bit, man. But the guy is also really self-centered. I mean, if you go on YouTube and you look at Kevin Smith talking about working with Bruce Willis, dude, those stories, man. I mean, if you're as big enough star as Bruce Willis was, then I guess you get to be a little self-centered, but still, man. And I think that's really the problem, is he's become hard to work with. He's asking so much money. He only gives just an okay performance at best, if he really gives a shit. And now he's just relegated to these direct-to-DVD and Blu-ray movies, kind of like Steven Seagal or Jean-Claude Van Damme, stuff like that. I mean, did you ever in your life ever think that Bruce Willis was going to be in the same league as Van Damme and Seagal? Like, dude, I never would have thought that at all, but here we are, man, and this is what it is. It's so weird, dude. I mean, Can Bruce Willis still make a comeback? Absolutely, dude. The guy can easily make a comeback, clearly, but he's got to pick the right projects, man. And he's picking a lot. He's picking a lot of dumpster fires. He really, honestly is, man. I mean, I'll always like the guy. He'll always be great to me. But at the end of the day, man, he's honestly really, really lost my respect in a big bad way, man. Relegated to the likes of Seagal and Van Damme. Never would I see the day. And then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray of Resistance for $14.99. Now, there's a couple reasons why I want to watch this. I think the story is really fascinating as a Jewish guy, another sort of tale within World War II that I know somewhat about, but not a lot. But really the thing that I really want to check this thing out is for Jesse Eisenberg. And the reason being is that, look, man, let's be real here. Jesse Eisenberg, yes, he has serious moments as an actor, but he's not really all that serious with his acting abilities. He always has some sort of weird quirkiness to him, or something that, sort of makes his performance a little weird and wacky. I mean, even if you look at something like The Social Network, I mean, it's a serious role. He takes it serious. He has serious moments, but there's still that quirkiness to it. Even something like Vivarium, where he's very serious in that movie as well. There's still moments where there's like the quirky Jesse Eisenberg sort of shining through. You know what I mean? But I kind of look at sort of this World War II tale, and I'm like, there's really no room for major quirkiness. I mean, I guess because he's sort of a mime, I guess that would be the most sort of quirkiness I guess he would be. But it's a very serious, dramatic tale. There's not much quirkiness in it. And yeah, he's done some other serious stuff, but I think if you look at Jesse Eisenberg overall, in the majority of performances that you see from him, you are going to see some quirkiness from one moment or another. You're gonna see it. Resistance might be the one movie that I may see him in that I'm like, there's no quirkiness here at all. So I'm kind of curious to sort of see a less quirky side to Jesse Eisenberg. But I'm curious to what you think. Do you think he's ever done a role that he doesn't have any of the quirkiness in, or do you think like no matter what movie he is, he's gotta at least put a tiny bit of the quirky Jesse Eisenberg sort of signature style in there? I'm kind of curious because every actor eventually sort of sheds their signature style and does something really outside of the box. And I'm not sure really Jesse Eisenberg has quite done that yet. He's been close. He's done some unique stuff, but I think this might be the one. Definitely let me know what you think of this one, guys. Then I'm also seeing over here they have the Blu-ray of Capone for $16.99 right here. Now, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Josh Trank, man. God damn, we gotta talk about Josh Trank, dude. We honestly gotta do it. And I feel bad for Josh Trank. I really do. At the end of the day, man, that guy got so fucked over. Yo, man, he really did, man. I mean, okay, so he comes out of nowhere, and he writes and directs Chronicle. Amazing movie. Everybody was raving about it. Hell, I was raving about it. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, man. Really well done, really well acted, well directed. The story was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. And the problem is, man, is when you come from the indie world, man, and you come straight out with a hit, all the studios are like, oh, take this project or take that project. And they gave him Fantastic Four. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, well, Fantastic Four is awesome. It's a great property. I have a chance to do a really cool, awesome superhero flick. Who wouldn't take the opportunity to do that, man? It seemed like a no-brainer. And then at every instance, dude, like the studio was screwing him over. But it wasn't just that because, like, Josh Trank had some weird ideas for the Fantastic Four, man. He wanted to go really very gritty, very like David Cronenberg-esque, and I guess that could work, but like for the Fantastic Four though, like it seems a little extreme, doesn't it? I mean, he was going back and forth with the studio on the story and then the casting, and they wanted certain people and he wanted them, and he couldn't get his way, and he was forced by certain decisions, and we all know the result, dude. The movie Fantastic Four stick, I think, honestly, the consensus is that movie is absolute garbage, dude. I mean, there's not really much redeeming value in that film, and basically that movie tanked, and it tanked hard. So Josh Trank, man, like in the blink of an eye, he became sort of a Hollywood darling, and then in the blink of an eye, he became an absolute pariah, and nobody wanted to work with him, because once you have a mega like dumpster fire like Fantastic Four, dude, nobody wants to work with you. And he couldn't get any work. Nobody wanted to hire him for any job, dude. In fact, he was originally supposed to direct the Boba Fett movie. He was supposed to direct that Star Wars standalone Boba Fett flick. And he was close to directing it, and then they pulled the plug on that because, I don't know, he was having sort of issues with Kathleen Kennedy or some stuff, and they didn't believe in him. So that sort of kicked him in the teeth. He had other directing opportunities where the studio just did not trust him, and he sort of lost the fire for directing, to be honest with you. I mean, he's only directed 2 flicks. I mean, let's be real here. He's only directed 2 films, and after the second one, dude, he just lost it. He's like, I don't want to deal with Hollywood anymore, dude. And he didn't. And so I think Capone was a chance for him to sort of get back to his roots, get back to a little bit of indie cinema, have a contained story, not deal with as many studio executives. And I think it was a chance for him to sort of get back to some sort of normalcy and to get back to loving to direct again, dude. And I think that's why I think I like Capone as much, because it's a decent movie, it's a good flick, it's a good acting flick, and it's a chance for Josh Trank to sort of get back some of the mojo that he really lost, man. Dude, I have never seen a director go from such a big high to a gigantic low and then trying to climb his way out of a dumpster fire. Dude, I've never seen that, dude. And Capone is finally that opportunity for him to do that, and I think he did a good job. I mean, is it the best movie? No, it's not the best movie, to be honest with you, even maybe about Al Capone, but I think it's a really good contained story, and I think for somebody like Josh Trank, I think he really needed that, dude. And if I were to give Josh Trank any recommendation whatsoever, is to probably stay away from the big budget studio system for a while and just do your own thing, dude, because I have a feeling that may work better for you than having to answer to big old studio executives and trying to compromise. Just doesn't seem like a guy that wants to do that. But damn, man, at least he's back to directing in some capacity. Shit, man, that guy, dude, he has been through the ringer, man. Goodness gracious, man. Yo. But actually not bad this week so far. I mean, they have Capone, Resistance, Survive the Night, Scoob, all the stuff that Walmart had. Not half bad, guys. Not half bad at all. Let's see if they got anything else to check out. And now we are over in the new TV releases, where they finally have some new stuff checking out, guys. And the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the complete second season of Castle Rock for $19.99. Not half bad, man. That damn Annie Wilkes and her axe. Ooh, I wouldn't fuck with her. So, as I said, I did really like the season, but see, the problem with this season is that I love that first season so much, and I got to know the characters, I got to invest in them and their situations and the mysteries, and I wanted that to continue. I didn't want that to end, man. And then when the second season came, okay, it's like all new characters, it's all new situations, it's all new plots, and they pretty much like 99% abandoned all of the mysteries and all the storylines from the first season that I wanted to continue. I wanted some sort of answers, and I didn't really need any concrete answers exactly, but I needed something, some sort of conclusion, and I just didn't get it. And I think that's the problem with TV anthologies in general. And I'm not talking about things like Tales from the Crypt or The Twilight Zone, stuff that's literally a new story every single episode. I'm talking about like series where you're invested in the characters for a whole entire season, the plots and the relationships, and suddenly you just get upended completely, and now you've got to reinvest in all these new situations and everything, and it's kind of jarring. I mean, I know it's kind of cool from a writer perspective of having to trying to have a challenge of like making the characters like interesting and sort of getting people to reinvest in a new season with new characters and new situations. But for an audience member, man, that's really frustrating, dude. I mean, just imagine like if Lost had ended after the end of the first season, the hatch blows open and Walt is taken, and suddenly they're like, oh yeah, we're just going to reinvest in all new characters and all new situations on the island and all those mysteries and all those things that you were curious about. Well, fuck that. That's the problem with it. I still enjoy the season, and I think there's still things to like about it, but man, I do miss that first season and those stories, man. And I think it's just me getting invested in the story which killed it. I really got invested in it, and then them switching over, it was just really jarring to me, dude. I know this is not the only series that has done that, but it's one that really, oh man, it's one that really got to me in a big bad way, man. I mean, definitely let me know what you think of that. It's still a good show, and I like seeing a lot of the cool like Stephen King references and everything, but that first season though, man, I still think I still want those mysteries answered, dude. I still do. Then over here I'm seeing they have the DVD of Curb Your Enthusiasm, the complete 10th season. Man, 10 seasons for $19.99. Oi. Great. Oh man. So I've seen maybe 2, maybe 3 episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm in general. Like, I haven't seen a lot of the seasons. And mind you, I really only watched the seasons that I did because a long time ago I had HBO, so I was able to do that. I mean, the 2 or 3 seasons that I watched, I really enjoyed, man. I think that this show is really funny. And what I like about the show, or at least the couple seasons that I saw, was the sort of situational comedy. Like, he's always in some sort of like situation that goes wrong, or there's a misunderstanding that completely goes sideways. Like, I really do like it. And I think Larry David is such a brilliant guy, man. I mean, this is the same guy who created Seinfeld, man. So he clearly knows comedy. He knows situational stuff and what makes things funny. I mean, he has the recipe for success. And I think this works, dude. Now, again, I don't know how the rest of the seasons are. You guys are gonna definitely have to let me know. But I don't think this show is ending anytime soon. I think they're still making them, right? I'm almost positive they still are, man. And good for Larry David. I mean, he's a talented guy. He knows comedy really well. He's a good writer, and he brings on a lot of creative people and a lot of comedians who want to work with him, like these big name actors who come on and do like bit parts in the series because they like the show and they just want to work with the guy. I mean, you have to respect a guy like Larry David who is this good at comedy and knows how to get the best out of these people that sometimes they're not funny anywhere else other than Curb Your Enthusiasm, and that just goes to just how great Larry David is, man. I don't know how season 10 is, but again, I watched the first 2 or 3 and I really enjoyed them. Definitely let me know what you guys think of that. Not bad. And not bad this week. There's definitely a lot more here than they have in the past few weeks, and that's not a bad thing. Damn glad to finally see it. All right, let's head out. Color me surprised, guys. Thank the Lord that we finally have a really great week that Target can definitely take advantage of, man. And they did in a big bad way, dude. Not half bad this week. They have all of the same similar stuff that they had over at the first Target, but just the fact that they finally have an abundance of media to show off is a thankful thing indeed, dude. I mean, look, next week it's going to be another rough week for media, and going forward it's going to be a little bit of rough water. So expect that Target's just not going to carry anything. But you know what? I'll cherish this week. I'll cherish this wonderful week of having a lot of physical media to show off, man. And not half bad, dude. And we got to see something that we didn't see over at Walmart. So there is some benefits and some upsides. Now, mind you, I don't think this is the week for major exclusives. It doesn't really seem like it. I thought we might actually with Scoob, but it seems like both Walmart and Target aren't carrying any of those exclusives. It sucks, but it is what it is, guys. That being said, man, at least we got one good week of physical media from Target, and I'll take it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's check out the next place for wonderful physical media goodness. All right, everybody, we are at our next location, the second Walmart. We're just going to give a look, see if there's any other indie goodness out there that we have not gotten a chance to check out yet. But before we do, I wanted to talk about a trailer with you guys. I wanted to talk about Project Power, baby. Yeah, the latest movie coming to Netflix with Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah, baby. It looks really cool, man. Basically, it's about taking this pill, this revolutionary pill, and you can have these incredible powers for 5 minutes. And, what would you do with it? Would you take it? And all the while this is happening, this formula has been stolen by somebody, and Jamie Foxx has to end up trying to get this formula back and trying to rescue his daughter at the same time. Dude, this trailer, it looks amazing, man. I was thinking about it when I was watching the trailer. I'm like, my God, it looks a little bit like Chronicle, and it looks like that movie, and I forget the name of it. It's with Bradley Cooper, where he took this pill and he would be like super smart, and it would be almost like he would have a superpower of the brain, of the mind. And it kind of like combining the two of those, and yet putting its own unique spin on it with sort of the superpower angle. It looks awesome, man. Like, I kept thinking to myself, okay, it's Netflix, so it's not going to be this big budget thing. It's going to be a little bit more cheap. So, yeah, it's a cool idea and concept, but are they really going to pull it off? And, yeah, they really did, man. It looks killer, man. I mean, the effects look really cool in it. And I just like that sort of sci-fi idea of, what would you do if you had that opportunity? And sort of in the trailer, you see some people robbing a bank and other people, helping each other out. And it's sort of the great sort of philosophical questions in it that I love when you watch something really powerful in the sci-fi genre, whether we're talking about The Matrix or other films like that. Those really great questions that really engage your mind. Dude, I love that stuff so much. And Project Power really looks like it's going to be one of the good ones. Hopefully it will. Now, the movie is directed by Ariel Schulman and Henry Joost. Now, those guys directed the Catfish movie, And they also ended up directing Paranormal Activity 3, I believe it was. And, okay, I do really enjoy the Catfish movie. It's so weird because I went to see the Catfish movie with my best friend Bob, and we went, and he was so pissed when we left the movie theater. He was so angry because the trailer made it out to look like it was going to be this like horror film almost, and it was anything but. And he was raging, dude. But I still really like that movie, though. I still think it's pretty good. And as far as Paranormal Activity 3 goes, honestly, I think Paranormal Activity 3 is probably one of the last really good Paranormal Activity films. There's a lot of really good scary moments. I like what they did with the found footage and the camera stuff. They're really good at that stuff. They're really good at found footage and telling an intriguing story, slowly bringing you in without you really knowing that you're really invested until you're just in the middle of it and you're like, oh my god, like I'm intrigued by this and I wasn't at first. They're good storytellers, or they have a potential to be good storytellers. I think there are a couple of films I think they've done a really good job in, and I think this has the potential to do it. So I am looking forward to it, man. You know, with movie theaters and everything closed right now and not a lot of new major flicks coming, you know, I'll take anything, dude. So this looks right up my alley, man. So I cannot wait to check it out. Let me know what you guys think about that. In the meantime, let's head into the second Walmart and see what goodies we can find. All right, we are in at the second Walmart, and not bad selection. Some indie goodness to check out here, guys. And the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the DVD of A Killer Next Door. The true story of John List. The quieter the street, the darker the secret. Not a bad cover on this sucker. Who's watching who? The true story of John List, who killed his wife, mother, 2 children, and their... Ooh. Sounds pretty intriguing to me. Oh, from an America's Most Wanted episode. Oh shit, really? Dude, I am so surprised. You know, I've watched so many of those unsolved mysteries over the years and America's Most Wanted episodes, and I always think, like, my god, this would make a fantastic movie. Why hasn't anybody done that shit yet? And I'm so glad to see that some people are actually making movies out of that stuff. I mean, this is more low budget, but it's kind of cool that somebody's going ahead and giving it a try, man. Some of those, like, unsolved mysteries and America's Most Wanted are creepy as shit, dude. They're more creepier than fucking horror movies at times, man. Damn. It's probably a low budget movie, but I like the idea behind it, though. It's not half bad. The Killer Next Door. Then I'm also seeing over here they have a Shudder original for The Room. Be careful what you wish for. There's like so many different, like, there's like The Room with Tommy Wiseau, there's Room with Brie Larson, and now there's The Room with Olga Kurylenko. Too many rooms, man. Too many rooms. Can we call it a different thing? Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. Call it the closet or something. When Kate and Matt leave the city to move into an old house, they discover a secret hidden room that has the extraordinary power to realize anything they wish for. Dude, be careful, man. I know it seems like the most idyllic situation. You can wish for anything you want. Oh, hey, $1 million. Or, oh, hey, I'll can this room pop out a kid so that I don't have to get my wife pregnant? Like, oh, cool. But there's consequences to everything, man. Come on, dude. It probably is a pretty interesting thriller, actually. And I really like Olga Kurylenko, though. I really like her, man. I gotta watch more of these Shudder originals. There's some really good ones that I've seen. that have been promoted. I gotta watch more of these, man. Doesn't look that bad. I like the cover actually. And over here I'm seeing they have Attraction 2 Invasion. Not a bad cover, man. Look at that, alien invasion, and they gotta deal with like huge giant oceans destroying cities. Man, alien invasions fuck up everything. Mind-blowing visual effects and spectacular action. I mean, it kind of has a feel of like, you know, something like I talked to you guys about, like Proximity. It has sort of hints of that, or Encounters of the Third Kind meets sort of, again, like Chronicle. It has like the interesting things of Chronicle as well. Alien abduction, superpowers. It's not bad, but again, the visual effects have to be amazing in this. So, well, they have to be, because if they're not, then the whole story is screwed, dude. The whole story is bad, man. It seems kind of low budget, though. But look, there's like alien spaceships and everything. I mean, it could be cool, but kind of a gamble. I don't know, man. Looks interesting, though. Attraction 2, Invasion. Not half bad. Looks pretty good. Then over here, I'm seeing they have the DVD of Nobody Dies. She can make a witness disappear forever. Okay. Well, she's got a great ass, so, well, she's got that going for her. Whoa, read this for a second. Hold on. Daniel Neiman is the kind of dumpy little sad sack that even flies wouldn't care to buzz around. And that's on a good day. Jeez, man. What a way to shit on a guy. Oh, Lord. Won't that change when his wife leaves him for their marriage counselor? What? To capture a local crime syndicate. Welcome to the worst week of Daniel Neiman's life. Dude. Like, I kind of like that synopsis, man. Like, it's like this guy has completely been dumped on, and now he's got to deal with some more shit? Like, oh, man. Like, I feel so bad for that guy. Oh, that's so terrible, dude. Nobody Dies. Huh. Like, when I look at the cover, like, I would have never, for a single second, thought that I was going to read this. Never. I'm kind of interested just based on this alone, guys. I mean, the cover is decent, but dude, that synopsis, man. I'm curious. I really am, dude. If you guys know anything about this one, let me know. That's cool. Then they have the DVD of Battle Scars over here. Vietnam took everything he had. Now he will take something back. Battle Scars. Oh, I like the cover, actually. Really cool. Magda Luca, a war veteran. Authenticity and insurmountable difficulties. That sounds interesting. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of like movies like like that movie Stop Loss, or Born on the 4th of July or something, coming back from war and what that does to you and everything. I mean, I think this is a little bit more like of like sort of like an action crime like post-war film, but it kind of has that vibe though. Interesting. Has that. Then I'm also seeing they have a DVD of Secret Weapon, The Fight Against the Nazis. Oh, another World War II one we're seeing. Okay, interesting. They must protect it no matter what. Like I said, I told you guys earlier that I really do enjoy sort of these war movies, these World War II tales, but I told you guys that not every World War II movie is created equal, dude. There's some that are worse than others. and there's some that are really kind of on the cheapo side. And this might be one that's on the cheapo side. It's a true story, it's an intriguing tale, but I'm not so sure about this one, man. I mean, like I said, I love a good World War II story, as I love a good Vietnam tale. And there's a bunch of really intriguing sort of tales within the whole concept of World War II and everything that happened. But like I said, every like it seems like every few weeks or something, we're always seeing like another like straight to DVD like World War II flick, and a lot of them ain't that good. Secret Weapon, looks okay. Then I'm seeing over here they have the DVD of The Whistlers. Loyalty is not their language. Okay, well that's good to know. Okay, that's you know, one less thing I have to worry about, I guess. Like, no, a twisty go trying plot. So it's kind of like a sort of like heist thriller type of movie, I would say. Trying to be like maybe like a Mission Impossible flick or something. Or like Italian Job or some shit. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's probably kind of a low budget shitfest. But I will admit, with enough sex and violence, you can please anybody, dude. And trust me, with enough like boobies in your face and nakedness and people blowing up, suddenly you forget about the plot. Wait a minute, what was I watching? Exactly. Trust me, that's what these low budget flicks do, man. Some of them pull it off and others not so much. Not too sure about The Whistlers, man. Then they have, oh, what is this? They have the DVD of These Woods Will Leave You Hollow. If you thought The Hills Have Eyes was scary, just wait till The Trees Have Eyes. Dun dun dun. I like the cover though, man. Give the cover a lot of credit, dude. It's not bad, man. Pretty effective. And it's got Tony Moran in it. Tony Moran was one of the Michael Myers, wasn't he? I believe he was. He was only like briefly Michael Myers in like maybe one or two scenes, and that was it. And like he goes to conventions and like asks for a lot of money because he like was Michael Myers for like 2 seconds. Yeah, that's what happens. A group of bounty hunters. The undead. With no shelter, no help, and no end to the carnage, survival seems helpless. One of these survival against zombies flicks. Oh boy, every now and again we see some of these now, don't we? Look, man, I love zombies. I've told you guys so many times, I love a lot of zombie flicks. They're really cool, dude. But after a while, the zombie genre has kind of been beaten over the head, though, hasn't it? I mean, it really has. I mean, no offense, but it really has, dude. And there's some of these ones that are better than others. So there is some really good low-budget zombie flicks. Like, there's one that I really like with Bill Moseley called Dead Air. And there's a couple of other ones that are really good, too. This one might actually be pretty decent, because the zombie effects don't look terrible. They look a little bit cheapo. But with enough sort of like fake blood and everything, you can kind of cover that shit up. Doesn't look outright terrible though. But with Tony Moran, I'm not sure. The cover is really good though, man. But that's the problem, dude. Some of these like horror films, they're real crap fest, but the covers are amazing. The Hills Have Eyes. Screw that. The Trees Have Eyes. Then I'm seeing they have the DVD of Dead Detectives, another Shudder flick. Huh. Who you gonna call? Not them. Nice. I like the cover. It's not bad. Whoa, look at that. A team of reality TV ghost hunters experience true paranormal activity. actually doesn't sound half bad. It kind of is more like a horror comedy than anything else, isn't it? It kind of is, though. I mean, I know there's a lot of horror flicks out there that have sort of the paranormal people going into a supposedly haunted place, and then they're not sure, and then like weird stuff starts to happen, and everybody gets killed and all that. You know what my favorite one is? There was a Tales from the Crypt episode with Morton Downey Jr., where he went into this sort of haunted house, and he was kind of like, it's all fake, and we're going to plant everything and pretend to scare people, and then he ended up getting scared and ended up getting killed. I thought that was fantastic, dude. I love that. But I got to admit, a lot of these sort of ghost hunter shows, a lot of it is bullshit, dude. I mean, I'm not trying to shit on ghosts in general, because I do believe ghosts are real. I do believe that stuff. But a lot of these sort of ghost hunter shows, man, they sort of tease you that, oh, there's some big paranormal breakthrough that we have, and then suddenly, like, at the end of the episode, they're like, well, we found nothing. And I'm like, so what was the hype for? What the fuck? So this kind of looks like it's kind of taking the piss out of the whole, like, ghost hunter TV show stuff, but also kind of scary and having fun with the genre as well. Oh, it kind of looks cool, actually. Detectives, not bad. They have that. They also have Dollhouse. Evil comes in all forms. The creepy evil dollhouse and the creepy doll. Not like we haven't seen that one before, guys. Pop legend Toya Wilcox. Dude, I've never heard of Toya Wilcox. How is she a pop legend? I don't understand. And Mark Wingate starring this chilling horror. She has a mysterious dollhouse and a doll. We got creepy dolls, creepy dollhouses, creepy little girls. All the recipes for success, don't we? Oh boy. That kind of reminds me of a few things, you know, killer doll stuff, possession, you know, evil little girls. It's got all the recipe, guys. It might be interesting, it might be a little bit cheapo too. I don't know. It could be good. A doll only a creepy little girl can love. Oh, great, wonderful. I've seen a lot of them. I think I'll pass, guys. And then the other thing I'm seeing over here is they have the DVD of Street Survivors. The true story of the Leonard Skinner plane crash. Really? Sweet home Alabama. I love Leonard Skinner, dude. They are great, man. Not bad, actually. It kind of is like maybe a little bit of a biopic about them, their lives, and the plane crash, and not bad. I'm surprised they've never actually done like a big budget, like Hollywood biopic of Leonard Skinner. I'm kind of surprised by that, dude. Like, we get a straight to DVD flick about it. I would actually like to see like a really proper one, though. I really honestly would. I mean, they give like biopics and tragedy stuff to like all these other type of artists. Why not Leonard Skinner? It makes sense to me. Doesn't sound too bad, though. Interesting. Other than that, that seems to be it, guys. But I gotta tell you, there's some unique stuff this time around. I didn't think we'd see a lot, but we saw more than expected. Not bad this time around. Glad I ended up checking it out. Let's head out. Oh, I love coming into this second Walmart, guys. I really honestly do, man. Oh, dude, if you want to see the weird and oddball and just plain cheesy, dude, you come here, man. Wow, dude. There's some really interesting cheesy stuff that comes out, man, every single week. and I would never get my fix if I didn't come to the second Walmart. I need my fix in a big bad way. I so do, guys. Oh, and it's so well worth it, man. Some really interesting titles. Even if you never buy anything, dude, just coming in here and checking out the covers and the weird synopsis. Oh, so well worth it, dude. So well worth it, man. And this time around has some really unique stuff for sure. Very fascinating indeed, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Some weird oddities for sure. All right, let's head out and see what else we can find. All right, everybody. We are at the fourth and final location. We are finally back again at the Beast. Yes, we are. We are back again at Best Buy, baby. You know, it's been actually a really good week for physical media, man. A lot of really cool, unique, interesting releases. The stores are having a lot of variety and selection. It ain't half bad this time around, guys. So, have we saved the best for last? Let's hope so. Let's head into the Beast and see if it can deliver. All right, we are in at Best Buy, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the Blu-ray digital of Scoob for $19.99, the DVD digital right here for $17.99, and they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital for $27.99. Now, was it just me, dude? But when I was watching Scoob, man, I kind of felt like they should do more of these really great updated animated films with the rest of the Hanna-Barbera universe. I mean, yeah, you do get Captain Caveman in here briefly, and you also get Dick Dastardly, which was really great to see, man. But I was kind of like, oh man, I'd like a movie like just on their own with that. Or why not do like an updated animated movie for like Yogi Bear or the Flintstones, or hell, even do the Jetsons, man. I mean, you could do some really cool stuff nowadays with the Jetsons, man. You really could. God, like the Hanna-Barbera universe, there's so much really wonderful stuff that you can mine from. And I kind of feel like Scoob is hopefully the springboard to do more cool stuff with the Hanna-Barbera universe. I'm really hoping it is, man. I mean, you know, I find a lot of certain stuff from my childhood has kind of been a little bit forgotten, at least somewhat, man. I mean, I don't see many kids really talking about the Jetsons or Yogi Bear. I mean, that is stuff that I used to watch. That was my bread and butter, man. And it's kind of been lost in some way. So I really hope a movie like this definitely brings it back. I'm really hoping, dude, honestly. Let's hope, man. But this one, guys, pure nostalgia, fantastic animation, great characters. It's a fun adventure. Guys gotta definitely get up on this one, man. You get bloopers, 10 deleted scenes, how to draw Scooby-Doo, new friends, newer villains, and puppies. Very nice. This was a great treat, man. I wanted to watch it. I was scared it wasn't going to live up to the hype, but it definitely did, man, and I'm so happy, dude. Definitely get a chance to watch this one, guys. And then I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of Castle Rock for $22.99, the complete second season, baby. Now, truth be told, guys, we're kind of living in a Stephen King renaissance, aren't we? Ever since the success, the massive success of It Chapter 1, it seems like everything is on the table, man. To be redone, remade, you know, finally getting an opportunity to rise from the ashes. Everything Stephen King is going to get done eventually, guys. And sometimes that's a really good thing, and other times not so much. I mean, look, movies like Gerald's Game I thought would never be made, and that movie is tremendous. You know, I look at something like Dr. Sleep, which Dr. Sleep, dude, like, I had no hope for that, and that really surprised me in a big bad way. It honestly did. And then there's other ones that I'm kind of iffy about. Like, I know they have that other Netflix film from Stephen King, In the Tall Grass, I think it is, which I haven't watched yet. Some people really like it, other people not so much. I know they're remaking a lot of stuff. I know there's like Tommy Knockers is on the table, and there's like other stuff. I think they're remaking The Stand. They're I think doing the Dark Tower, the TV series. I mean they're making everything, dude. Stephen King. And some of it I'm interested in, and some of it I'm not. And when the first season of Castle Rock came in, I looked at that trailer and I thought there was a lot of potential here. There's also a lot of potential for failure, to be honest with you. And I honestly think it really... I think it actually really surprised me. And it actually kind of over-delivered in my expectations, because I was like, okay, I know there's going to be the references and there's going to be a cool little story here, but outside of the Stephen King stuff, is there really anything interesting? And there honestly was, dude. There was a lot of really interesting stuff to show off and do, man. And, you know, going into Castle Rock Season 2, I think they did Annie Wilkes really good. I think they did a lot of the cool stuff with the misery aspect of it, a little bit of nods to other Stephen King stuff. If we go into a Season 3 of Castle Rock, which I don't know whether this is getting it or not, I think it is, but I'm not sure. What would you like to see in a Season 3 of Castle Rock? Would you like to see stuff from Christine? Would you like to see some of the stuff from, I don't know, the Dark Tower series? Would you like to see some of the stuff from it really transferring over? I'm kind of curious to what you guys would actually be interested in seeing from a Castle Rock Season 3. You know, as much as I love Stephen King, and I do so much, I have to admit, not every Stephen King thing should be adapted. And we have to be really careful about what we adapt and what we don't. But I have to admit, guys, that so far, I think there's been some really good stuff. But we'll see what happens, dude. I'm kind of curious as to your guys' sort of thoughts on Stephen King and everything that's being made of Stephen King. Do you think they've done a good job adapting everything as much as they have, or do you think like they've sort of missed the point of Stephen King and that we're overdoing it and that some of it feels watered down? I don't think Castle Rock feels watered down, but I feel like the expectations were really high and the bar was met with Season 1, and I think Season 2 kind of proved that bar sometimes is not as... Maybe we shouldn't go in with crazy high expectations all the time. That's just my honest opinion. I mean, definitely let me know what you think about that, guys. They got Annie Wilkes, Mother of Sorrow, the fascinating documentary, The Psychology of a Female Serial Murderers. Both fictional and real. Fantastic. Good Lord. That's all we get. No, not bad. Again, it's good. I enjoy the adaptation, but it could have been better. But again, with Stephen King, look, Stephen King is always hit and miss. And I think the TV series and the movies are the same thing. Definitely let me know what you think about that, guys. Then I'm seeing over here they have the Blu-ray digital of Survive the Night for $14.99. I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray of Resistance for the same price. And then 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital only at Best Buy, exclusive limited edition 60th anniversary of Spartacus. Look at this, baby. Very nice. Oh, so good, dude. Goddamn classic, man. Look at all these great actors in here, dude. Kirk Douglas, Laurence Olivier, Charles Laughton, Tony Curtis. Great goddamn actors, dude. And directed by Stanley Kubrick. You know, man, this is a movie that I think kind of gets overlooked when people talk about Stanley Kubrick. Like, they'll talk about, you know, Eyes Wide Shut and Barry Lyndon and The Shining and a lot of other interesting titles, but Spartacus kind of gets a little bit swept under the rug. Not because it's not good, but I think sort of Stanley Kubrick's filmography is so interesting that this one is kind of feels almost kind of standard compared to some of the other stuff he's done. But this is so great, dude. It's a great classic. It's a sword and sandal epic. It's amazingly well shot. It's the acting is fantastic. The action for the time is really cool, dude. The sets are tremendous. And 60th anniversary, man. 60 years this thing has been around. God bless it, dude. Absolutely amazing, man. Fantastic, dude. This is friggin' awesome. Really cool that they have this, dude. If you've never seen Spartacus, honestly, I would consider Spartacus, I would consider it a must-watch for any movie lover at least once. It's sort of old school movies like this or Cleopatra, stuff like that, are movies that I think at least every movie lover should watch because they're old school. It's old Hollywood. You get to see the old days of these big spectacle movies. Really fantastic, dude. Definitely check this one out, dude. Fantastic. And you get the extended version with 12 additional minutes. You get conversation with Kirk Douglas, rest in peace. What a tremendous actor that guy was. The scene interview, not bad, man. Well worth at least a one-time watch, at least. Then I'm seeing over here they have the 25th anniversary edition of Clueless, the only at Best Buy exclusive Steelbook edition. Look at that. Very nice. Now, I came here last week, and the guy who stocks, the shelves and everything, I said, oh, do you have Clueless? And he says, well, we have the Steelbook in the back. And I'm thinking, well, Clueless got released. And he's like, really? And he kind of looked at his calendar, and he said that their Clueless Steelbook doesn't come out until that following week. And I said, really? That's kind of odd. And he said, oh, this release schedules, whatever, man, for Best Buy. But very nice, dude. I've talked about this movie last time around. It's a fantastic comedy. Alicia Silverstone is really great here. Paul Rudd is awesome. Another sort of neglected performance by Paul Rudd. The dude is awesome. He's charming, he's witty, he's wacky, he's really funny in this. So is Silverstone. Really great, man. It's a great 90s nostalgia comedy, but honestly, it still really has a great sort of timeless effect, even today, with sort of the vapidness of a lot of, like, people on Instagram and Twitter and everything. Like, it almost kind of feels like this movie was ahead of its time. So funny, dude. So fantastic. And I was waiting to check out the Steelbook, and I'm damn glad I did. It looks pretty cool, actually. Not bad. And not bad special features either. Really great. As if. Great, dude. Definitely give that one a watch, man. Now, they also had over here an Airplane limited edition Steelbook that Best Buy put out, but unfortunately that seems to be all sold out. Hopefully we'll see that eventually at some point, but we're shit out of luck on that one, guys. But the last thing I'm seeing is they do have the Blu-ray for Capone for $14.99. Wonderful Capone. Al Capone, baby. So, I was kind of curious and doing my research. There's a lot of actors that have played Al Capone over the years, man. You have people like Rod Steiger, Jason Robards has played him. Of course, we can't forget about Robert De Niro, baby. Robert De Niro in The Untouchables. Hell, even Eric Roberts has played the character in a TV movie, man. He's played him. Willem Devane played him in an episode of Lois and Clark back in the day. Even John Bernthal played him in one of the Night at the Museum films. He's been played by a lot of different actors, man, and they've all brought something unique and very interesting to the role. And I think Tom Hardy has definitely done the same, man. He brings his unique style, his unique acting ability to the role, and I think he was perfect for it, dude. It's, I would actually be very interested to see a Tom Hardy sort of full-on Capone biopic of him, like, going through his early life and when he was really, like, at the height of his power. I would really love to see that, man. Now that I see him in sort of his later years playing the role, I would love to see that, dude. But let me know, what is your favorite actor who played Al Capone? Definitely let me know, guys. There's been so many of them, and there's been so many wide-ranging performances over the years, man, and a lot of them are really solid, because there's so many different ways that you can play Al Capone, and I think a lot of actors have brought some unique takes to it, so definitely let me know, man. I don't see any special features here, which is really a shame, because I would have loved to seen an interview with Hardy or some sort of commentary. I would have loved to seen it, but I mean, regardless, the movie is interesting, so definitely give this one a look, guys. If you're a fan of Tom Hardy or a fan of Al Capone, this is well worth your time, dude. And actually, one more thing before I let you guys go from Best Buy here, and I wanted to sort of show it off because I don't think I've seen it at any Best Buys before, and that is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack of Exorcism at 60,000 feet for $14.99. Now, I believe this is a Scream Factory release. Yeah, it is a Scream Factory release. And I've heard of the movie, and I was kind of curious to check this thing out because it's got some really unique and interesting actors here. It's got Bai Ling, Lance Henriksen, Bill Moseley, Adrienne Barbeau. Kevin J. O'Connor as well. It's got a lot of people in here, dude. And the cover looks really cool, dude. I love the cover. It looks really kick-ass, man. But this is it's kind of one of the newer releases that Scream Factory put out, and I think it's one of those like horror comedies. It's kind of like a horror comedy that takes place like on the Mile High Club, and kind of like on an airplane, but a horror version of it. Kind of like, so it's kind of like Airplane, but horror with sort of these genre actors in it. I guess, like, it kind of looks really odd and bizarre, but kind of interesting. So I was kind of curious what you guys thought about this. I mean, I don't think anybody here is sort of knocking at the door of like Best Buy to get the $14.99 version of Exorcism at 60,000 feet, but I saw this and it looked really unique and interesting. I love a lot of these genre actors, but I kind of get a little bit scared about these sort of horror comedies, especially sort of the newer ones. The old school ones I really like, but some of the newer ones I'm a little bit iffy about, so I'm not sure about that, guys. I mean, definitely let me know. It looks cool though, but kind of on the fence about that one, guys. Not bad, man. And as far as Best Buy is concerned, well, not bad this week. I mean, some interesting new releases, of course, some exclusives, some unique Scream Factory as well that I just found. Not half bad, guys. Alright, interesting at all when it comes to the Beast. Let's head out. The Beast was not half bad this week, guys. Some really interesting, unique titles to check out. Some of those unique steelbooks as well. Best Buy is starting to get back to the way that Best Buy used to be. It's been a while because of coronavirus. It's going to take a little bit longer to be the old Best Buy that we know and love. But eventually they will get back to where they used to be. And seeing some of these unique titles definitely brings me back to the old days of Best Buy for sure, guys. Not half bad, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's head home and finish the video. Alright, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And this was a really pleasant surprise of a great physical media week. I mean, I knew ahead of time what we were going to be getting as far as physical media was concerned, but I was like, what are we going to see in the stores exactly? And I was kind of blown away. We saw way more media than I was even anticipating. And look, I fully realize that the next sort of amount of weeks is going to be really rough for physical media yet again. But this was a nice sort of a little break of saying, hey, look, man, physical media can still reign supreme, dude. And when they're firing on all cylinders, you're going to get a great week full of awesome releases. And we definitely got that this week for sure, man. So I'm happy with it, dude. I honestly am. I hope you guys are too. And if you guys noticed that throughout the video, I was not wearing any gloves. Look, I'm gonna try, at least for the time being, to not really wear the gloves. It's not that I don't like wearing the gloves, they're fine. And I'm still gonna wear the gloves in certain instances. Like if there's a movie hunting video and, like a big Dollar Tree sale or something, and I'm going through a crap load of media, then I'll wear the gloves and everything like that. I'll do a little bit better. But for like the out and abouts where I'm not really touching a ton of stuff, maybe a few things here, a few things there, I don't really see the need for it. Look, I put the sanitizer on when I go into the store, and after I leave the store, I do all that, and I'm still obviously wearing the mask, so I'm staying safe, guys. So, and also, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen other YouTubers out there who do the same thing that I do, much bigger YouTubers, much more influential YouTubers, who are not wearing gloves either. So, I mean, look, if they're not doing it, and they're clearly more influential, they have way more subscribers, and then I'm just gonna, just kind of take their lead a little bit. Like I said, I still will wear the gloves from time to time, but I just want to kind of loosen things up just a little bit here. New York State has been really fantastic as far as lowering the curb and really getting on top of this thing. And so, for the time being, I think I can sort of loosen just a teeny bit myself, dude. Obviously, I still want to stay incredibly safe out there when going to the stores, but maybe not always wear the gloves. And I think a lot of you guys out there are pretty much okay with it. I think most of you guys understand that as long as I'm wearing the mask and as long as I'm still using sanitizer, which I am, that it's okay to ease up just a little bit. So, hope you guys understand on that one. But again, a really great week for physical media. As I said, I hope you guys picked up something good. If you did, definitely let me know. As far as I'm concerned, well, let's get into the packages that I got in the mail, shall we? And the first package that I got is actually one from Grindhouse Releasing. Yes, picked up one from Grindhouse Releasing, baby. And this is actually a Lucio Fulci title, baby. Yes, Lucio Fulci. I'm back at that whole hunt for all the Lucio Fulcis that I can possibly get. Now, this one is one that technically it's not a very well-known Lucio Fulci title, but it's not exactly the most obscure one either. It kind of ranges right in the middle. Now, this title actually is actually one that he directed right towards like the tail end of his life. It wasn't like the very last one, but it was sort of that last few years period of his life where he was directing films. So it's one that is still out in the market, but it most likely will go out of print very, very soon. Grindhouse Releasing had it. I've ordered from them a couple times before, and so they've had really good conditions with their Blu-rays. They come in great shape. They mail them really wonderful. So decided to take a gamble through them. So another Lucio Fulci title to be checking out. Then I also ended up picking up a package from Diabolic DVD. Of course I did. I always order through them, guys. Come on. And this is another Lucio Fulci title, baby. Yes, another Lucio Fulci, of course. I'm back on the hunt in a big bad way. Now, this is one of the more well-known Lucio Fulci titles. This is like primo Lucio Fulci. Like, when people talk about Lucio Fulci and the films that he's done, like, this is one of the films that they talk about. So, this one has never been in the collection before. This one is one that I've wanted. Now, crazy enough, I tried ordering this on Grindhouse Releasing and they sold out. They did not have any more copies of this. Thankfully, I went on Diabolic, and they did have some, and Diabolic does a great job. They package it really well, came in pristine condition, obviously, because I've already opened it up. And it's great, dude. So, I have, a very well-known Lucio Fulci title, and one that is more on the lesser well-known towards the end of his life. Of course, dude, if you guys have been keeping up with the Blu-ray pickup videos, you know that I am on the hunt for all of the Lucio Fulci movies on Blu-ray or DVD, and add a couple more to the collection. I got those ones, guys. Then, last but certainly not least, I got a package in the mail from Amazon Prime. Now, this is actually a Scream Factory release that came out last month. And it's... See, I wasn't going to pick this title up. I really wasn't. I kind of had no interest in the title. And the only reason why I've actually gotten it is because of my friend John. My friend John went to bat for this movie in a big bad way. He was one of the people that said, dude, this is a great flick. Like, you've got to check this thing out. And I trust my friend John when it comes to movies. We have a lot of the same similar tastes. So if he's going to recommend something, I'm going to give it a chance. So it's a killer animal flick. And that's all I'll give you guys. But it's one that I am definitely interested to check out. And it's one that kind of takes its cues from a very famous killer animal flick. So, dying to find out how good it may or may not be. So yes, guys, I got 3 packages in the mail with 3 Blu-rays, guys. But you will not get to find out exactly what I picked up until my Blu-ray pickup video, which will drop next month. It'll show off all the titles that I got for the month of July, and it's gonna be great, dude. Fulci, collector editions, limited editions, out of print, Scream Factory, oh my god, Vinegar Syndrome, so much stuff that I'm gonna be getting for July, man, and stuff that is still coming in the mail for sure. It's gonna be quite the good haul, guys, so you definitely have to stay tuned for that. And as far as the Blu-ray pickups for June goes, you are going to have to wait a couple weeks for that, guys, because that got pushed back a little bit, but it will be coming out soon. And the reason why it's delayed is actually this upcoming weekend, I am going to be releasing another movie hunting video. Oh, this is going to be a good one, guys. A lot of cool media to show off. And it's going to be a really long video, dude. I'm going to forewarn you guys now. This video is very, very long. A lot of really great media to show off, and a lot of really weird and odd titles to, talk about. But I dive into it all, man, and it is a long video, so I'm giving you the warning now. It is quite long and quite involved. So you guys know I make long videos anyways, but this is a pretty long one. So just be prepared on that one, guys. So this weekend you're going to be getting a movie hunting video. The following weekend you're going to be getting the Blu-ray pickup video for June, and it's going to be some good times for the channel. So definitely stay tuned to everything that is coming your way. And before I let you guys go, I wanted to talk about one thing that I'm pretty sure you guys know because it's been all over the freaking internet now, that Tenet has moved. Tenet was supposed to come out in theaters in August, and now they have completely moved indefinitely. There is no set plan for when this goddamn movie is coming out. And right now, they're just holding it until they're confident that they'll even be able to put the goddamn thing out when it's safer, when all the theaters are open. And now I'm just kind of waiting for movies like Mulan to blink, or Bill and Ted 3 to blink. Because I'm like, if Tenet moves, and Tenet's huge, then you're bound to see other people move as well. Now, with that being said, look, New York State has been doing great with the coronavirus. We've really lowered the curve, and we've really gotten a lot better. But that's us. When you look at other states like Florida or California, Georgia, Arizona, South Carolina, a lot of places, not so much. And it's gotten a lot worse. And some of those movie theaters have remained closed, and there's a lot of hardships that are going on right now. Can we have a discussion? Can we finally have a discussion about putting these movies on streaming at some point? Because I was talking to the guy who stocks the media at Target, or one of them at least, and we were talking, and we were talking about the physical media releases and everything, and he's like, well, it depends on the movie theaters. The movie theaters are closed, but he's like, why aren't these companies just putting this stuff out on streaming? Why do we have to continually wait when there's no sort of set time frame that any of this stuff is going to get resolved? So we're literally jumping from month to month and just taking a wild guess on when we're going to release this shit, man. And I agree with him. I agree with a lot of you who have said that, man. I mean, I have had so much discussions with so many people about why don't they put this on streaming, or why don't they just put this on physical? And I understand the hesitation by studios to a certain degree, right? Because you're like, okay, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. You don't want to leave money on the table. I get that. But at the same time, you're just holding back these movies. There's other movies that are in pre-production or starting back up their productions, and those have to be released next year. And we're literally like in this bubble now of will they or won't they? And God, let's just release this shit, dude. I mean, things like Black Widow, Mulan, A Quiet Place Part 2, No Time to Die, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and so many others. I mean, a lot of them have moved to next year. Because a lot of them have just said, fuck it. We're just going to move to next year, man. We don't know when this is going to get resolved, but we're pretty goddamn sure that come spring or summer of next year, it might be somewhat better. They've hedged their bets on next year, and fair enough, I get it. But a lot of these other ones, like Tenet, because remember that Christopher Nolan said, we are putting our line in the sand. We are going to release this in July. That's what he said. He's like, we're doing this. And then they blinked, and then August happened, and then they said, well, we are going to put our line in the sand, and we're going to do it in August. Well, now that's went to shit. And you also have to remember that Christopher Nolan, yes, he directs the movie, but he doesn't own the movie. He don't own that movie. Warner Brothers owns that movie, and Warner Brothers decides when it's good or when it's not good to release that fucking movie. The same with every other studio. But my thought is like, why not take the gamble on the streaming? Why not do it? Think about that. Trolls World Tour came out, and by all accounts, Trolls World Tour did pretty darn well for a movie that not many people were really looking forward to, outside of kids. It's about it. You know, Scoob went on streaming, did pretty decent, but if you put a Wonder Woman 84, if you put A Quiet Place Part 2, you know, a Mulan. I mean, hell, Disney has a streaming service. So they already have an opportunity to put this stuff on there already. Man, this is really tricky, dude, because we're holding back these movies and there is no exact timeline. I can't tell you when these movies are coming out. No Time to Die is supposed to come out in November. Will it? Hell if I know. I mean, maybe the coronavirus is going to be much worse since it's going to be colder and, you know, flu season, and what you think is coronavirus is actually a flu, and what you think is the flu is actually the coronavirus. And do you want to be huddled with a massive amount of people, and maybe some of them will be wearing masks, and maybe some of them, look, it's a dark theater. Can you clearly be able to see every single person that's around, whether they're going to wear a mask or not? Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I really don't. Look, at some point we need to have a healthy discussion, and these studios really need to do, about when can we release these films? When can we release these films, or is streaming the best option to go with? Because there is a lot of people out there, a lot of moviegoers like myself and many of you out there who are like, look, I get it, the safety protocols and everything like that, I understand it, man, but we need to get back to some sort of normalcy with these movies and these schedules. Put these movies out on streaming. If they put Bond or Wonder Woman 84, some of these other ones, if they put them on streaming for $20, which is pretty much the going rate, I know some people are like, oh my god, $20, man, that's a lot of money. And trust me, for certain movies, I don't think I would pay $20. But heck, if I bring over the guys and they pay $5 each, I won't have to pay so much. I got popcorn here, a fucking butter. We're fine, dude. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I think the studios right now are very nervous. I think they are extremely nervous because they don't know. And not knowing scares the living crap out of them. And at the same time, the studios don't want to go over the head of the Motion Picture Association and release these things on streaming because that loses the revenue for the theaters. But at the end of the day, the theaters aren't really putting any of these things out because you can't have movie theaters open in New York and then have them continually be closed in like 10 other states because there's not a wide release. You got to worry about spoilers. You got to worry about other people filming the movie and putting it on YouTube, and you need a wide release. And right now that wide release is just not possible, but it will be possible on streaming. It will be possible. I know, guys. I love the movie theater experience as much as any of you guys. But I also realize that there's also an opportunity here to take advantage of something. And I think some have, and I think a lot are very hesitant, and they're just not sure. Because look, putting new films on streaming is not exactly a science. It's very new. Nobody really knows exactly how all of it's going to go. Trolls World Tour was a complete, test run. It's a test drive. There's a crash test dummy, and it's the Trolls, and you're hoping that the crash test dummy survives, and it did. And Scoob survived. So maybe it's worth taking the gamble. Maybe it is. Just a little bit. I mean, the ones that have moved to next year, they've moved to next year, and I'm fine with it. But some of these other ones, man, with everything that's happening now in the streaming world, to give something to Netflix or to Apple or to Disney Plus or just on, Google Play or something, or stream it on YouTube, whatever, it's not so far-fetched anymore than what it was maybe even 5 years ago. So just understand that, guys. Just understand that the world is changing and the way we consume media is changing. And the world of the movie theaters is slowly changing. And I want to keep that alive, but at the same time, if you can take the risk and the risk might pay off, why not do it? I'm curious as to what you guys think about that. Please definitely let me know, guys, because it's really fascinating to me. And look, man, I prefer physical over streaming, but if we get these things on streaming, like we did with Scoob and Trolls World Tour and everything like that, eventually we're going to get them on physical eventually anyway. So it all comes together. But when we're holding all these movies back, it kills everything. And do you really want to take a gamble to kill everything altogether, or do you want to put it out there? it's really fascinating to me, honestly. It's definitely let me know, guys. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think of all of the media this week, some of the movies. I'm dying to know. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday videos I do every single week, the movie hunting videos, theatrical movie reviews I do with my friends, the Blu-ray pickup videos, and much, much more. If you're a fan of movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank you guys. You guys are so awesome. Commenting, subscribing, liking the videos, going out of your way to watch them. I know they're long videos and they're very involved, but you guys are hardcore, loving them and giving it your all and watching them, and I really appreciate it so much. So thank you guys. And keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos that I do from time to time on social media. Alright, I will see you guys next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD Out and About video. Take care, everybody, and happy hunting.